Alright, in this episode of Mortal Kombat Conquest, Scorpion was on absolute demon time this entire episode. So today we're journeying back to 1998 to the episode Thicker Than Blood from Mortal Kombat Conquest. And as we get started, I'd just like to remind everybody to like and subscribe if you haven't, greatly appreciate it. So we start off with stock footage from the Mortal Kombat movie of, I'm guessing, Hell, when Johnny Cage fought Scorpion. Just the stock footage, Johnny Cage is not in this episode. Instead, we cut to Scorpion, I guess fighting trainees of his clan. They're not necessarily called the Shirai Ryu, but let's just, for the sake of argument, just call it that going forward. So he's beating the hell out of these two trainers, and I mean he is messing them both up. There's also a lot of random slow-mo in this fight. Like, I don't understand why in all these TV shows and movies everyone just attacks one at a time. He's clearly destroying them both, and he wraps a chain around the throat of this guy and then kicks him in the face. I thought he was about to hang him, which we'll come back to that in a second. He kicks both guys in the face at the same time. That's hilarious. Okay, after beating these two guys within an inch of their lives, he tells this particular warrior in quotations, to join him in the Shirai Ryu. As the other guy begs for another chance, Scorpion gives him, and I quote, a chance to die, as he throws the snake spear from the first movie at him, and I guess it chokes him to death, or maybe snaps his neck off. I have no idea. There's a hard cut, thank God. I just want to let it be known that these are Scorpion's actual clansmen and trainees, and this is how he's treating them. Just getting that point across in the beginning. So now we cut to the city of Shusen, which I guess is like the hub or the base of all things that's going around in Earthrealm. So mini Brock Lesnar here has a horrible training session with Kung Lao. Apparently Kung Lao broke his arm and he quit. I don't necessarily blame him for that. It's crazy, they talk about him like he's a coward because he doesn't want his arm broke. The main motif of this show is Kung Lao has to train the next generation of fighters for the upcoming Mortal Kombat tournament, which, given the story, we know he's gonna die in when he's killed by Goro. That doesn't happen in the show, by the way. Something wilder happens in the show. But in any event, he's struggling to find new recruits. So him and his friends, Zero, that's the guy, and Taja, that's the girl. Also the T-3000, if I'm not mistaken, but I could be wrong. They're all contemplating as to why it's so difficult for them to actually find any new fighters. Cut to Eva Mendes, who randomly shows up in Shusen. God almighty, Eva Mendes is fine as hell. Anyways, she lands in, I guess, the trading post where Kung Lao and his gang are staying at, and she asks for Zero, where it is then discovered that she was once engaged to Zero. Crazy detail that he failed to mention anybody else, which, I mean, it's his personal business, I don't see why he would. She claims she needs to talk to him about his brother. Zero doesn't seem to care that his brother's in trouble, but he still agrees to go talk to her somewhere else because Taja's nosy as hell. Before getting that conversation, we cut to Scorpion meeting Shao Kahn in Outworld. Scorpion's giving Shao Kahn a report of how well his fighters are being trained. So Scorpion gets lippy with Shao Kahn, and Shao Kahn uses the force to start choking Scorpion by the throat. I don't know where else he would choke him at. So after humbling Scorpion, he makes Scorpion bow to him. Scorpion does, and then he leaves. Why we really needed to see any of this, I have no idea. I don't think Shao Kahn's really going to come up again at any other point in the show. This episode, I'm sorry. Also, now would be a good time to illustrate that the guy who plays Raiden in the show is also simultaneously playing Shao Kahn. Just wanted to throw that out there in case anyone was interested. Probably not. Okay, we cut back to Eva Mendes and Zero. It is here that it is discovered that Eva Mendes has married This is crazy. Eva Mendes has married Zero's brother after previously being engaged to him. That is some deviousness right there. To actually date a guy, you get engaged to him, it goes south, and then you marry his brother is crazy. So apparently Zero's brother, Kassar, that's not a made up name at all. He's just suddenly fled from Eva Mendes, and she needs Zero's help to find him. Considering Zero's mad at both him and her, I don't know why she thought he would help in the first place, but whatever. He dismisses her, and nosy Taja jumps in to, I guess, try to aid her. I don't know what Taja thought she was going to do, but whatever. She convinces her to come back to the trading post. She's overly involved in all of this, by the way. Like, dude doesn't want to see his ex slept with his brother. Like, I can't say I necessarily blame him. So Taja brings Eva Mendes, I don't know why I won't call her by her name, I don't think I care, but she brings her back to the trading post and is convincing Zero to let her stay there with everybody, simultaneously letting a completely lost Kung Lao know as to what's going on in this whole situation. Like now, Taj is just telling random people Zero's business. Like, this is crazy. So back at seemingly the Nether Realm, we have this guy who got beat up earlier by Scorpion returning. Also, another random trivia fact, this is Chris Casamassa, who also played Scorpion in the Mortal Kombat movie. Nice little detail on the show's part. Anyways, we now learn that this is Kasar. Apparently, he fled Eva Mendes to go and join the Shirai Ryu, and he's trying to go back and recruit Hannah as well. That's Eva Mendes' name, I finally remembered. And he's gonna try to bring her back to join the clan as well. This is the dumbest idea I think I've heard in the show so far. We cut back to Zero sharpening a knife. I don't think this is a good idea. Anyways, Eva Mendes comes back downstairs and Zero leaves, and then she has this wild conversation with Taja casually. So get this woman is now saying that the two brothers are like opposite sides of the same whole. So that's why, I know that sounds wild, but just bear with me. So that's why she fell in love with Kasar, because she was the opposite of Zero. So what, she just tried out both brothers to see which one was best? This is crazy to me. She also gives details that apparently their father raised them Fritz von Erich style to just compete with each other. If anybody's seen the Iron Claw, you would know what I'm talking about. So we skip ahead and Eva Mendes is getting ready to go to bed and she's attacked by ninjas. One of the ninjas turns out to be Kasar. He's showed up to basically kidnap her and take her back to Scorpion. Once again, not making this up. Hannah's obviously not willing to join a clan of murderous ninjas. Before she's given a choice, the other ninja knocks her out. So, after knocking Hannah out, Kung Lao shows up and starts beating up Kasar after they get in a little fight upstairs. Kung Lao is about to almost kill Kasar, and he jumps out of the window after being saved by Zero. That's when Zero informs Kung Lao that that was his brother that invaded Trading Post, and Zero decides to torture the black Shirai Ryu ninja to find answers. Now we cut back to an angry, at least angrier than normal Scorpion. Scorpion rightfully is upset because he was promised that a new fighter would be joining him, and instead he lost the fighter that he already had. So before Scorpion kills Kasar, Kasar reveals that he got attacked by a man named Kung Lao. Scorpion, having dealt with Kung Lao himself, he gives him a pass this time. So we cut back to Zero torturing the black Shirai Ryu ninja, who apparently just reveals everything to Zero, so we get that exposition when he comes back downstairs. So he lets them know that Kasar is helping Scorpion recruit fighters in Earth Realms, and he was trying to recruit Hannah. So, apparently Zero has been convinced by Hannah to allow her to execute her little plan, which is to willingly join, or at least lie about joining the Shirai Ryu. That's gonna end very well, isn't it? So, Scorpion's a little skeptical about letting her join, so he's gonna make her fight to the death to prove that she should join the Shirai Ryu. This is crazy as hell. So she's gonna fight this guy. So this Looney Tunes fight takes place where she basically tricks him into submitting when she puts a knife to his throat. This works somehow. Scorpion, having no use for this guy, snaps his neck and leaves. So now we cut to Kasar and Hannah sneaking off into the woods, which apparently is forbidden by Scorpion. So they're just doing all sorts of stuff they're not supposed to in this clan, aren't they? So, speaking of Looney Tunes traps, apparently this was Hannah's ploy to get Zero to catch Kasar in a net. They then tie him up and bring him back to the trading post. Here, Kasar is giving an offer by Kung Lao to actually join them at the trading post and help aid the trading post in fighting against Earthrealm. I'm not gonna lie, this was a gangster moment from Kung Lao. He basically tells him, I fought you and you're a good fighter and you should join us, but if you don't join us, I'm gonna kill you. It's a rare moment where Kung Lao is not sounding hero-like and is actually threatening to kill somebody not named Shang Tsung. So as Zero is leading Kasar back to, I guess, Scorpion's lair, Kasar is given a choice by Zero to either join them in the fight against Outworld, I guess, in Earthrealm, in which Scorpion's probably going to try to kill him, or he can stay in the Shirai Ryu, where Kung Lao's probably going to kill him. So he's got himself in a pretty interesting situation here. So Zero and Kasar patches their differences out here in the forest and have a nice talk, getting everything out in the open, and Kasar agrees to join Zero in Earthrealm. I love how Zero is bringing Kasar back to his wife and they just stop to look at random women. Zero has to tell Kasar, hey, go back home to your wife while I'll tend to them. So we cut to this peaceful gathering late at night, just one big happy family at the trading post. Hannah, Kung Lao, and Taja agree to go out drinking while Zero and Kasar stay back to get everything cleaned up for the night. And this is where the fun starts. So with everybody out of the way, and Zero and Kasar having this awful dialogue, by the way.
Zero, Kasar, don't do that.
Kasar reveals to Zero that he finally feels like he has a home, and right on cue. So Scorpion has arrived, and he said he's taking what's mine, which I'm assuming is the life of Kasar. So these two morons are gonna fight Scorpion one-on-one. You remember the fight earlier where he fought two people at the same time? He fought Kasar and the other ninja. He spared one and killed the other one. Well, here we go. So he's once again beating up Kasar. Like, this is crazy. He's eating blows from the two of them, and he is still beating the hell out of both men at the same time. They temporarily tried to fight together, but it still ended up turning into one at a time and Scorpion just demolishing the two of them. Though there are lots of random spinning back fists and roundhouse kicks in this show. Scorpion hits Zero with a Superman punch. Scorpion hits Kasar with this snake spear again. Oh my god, these special effects are terrible. And he uppercuts the hell out of Kasar, which apparently kills him. No exaggeration, this man dies from an uppercut. He just took the one shot, and look at this. They're crying over his body. He just took an uppercut. I know this is supposed to be the most dramatic part of the show with them crying over his dead body, but I'm sorry, this is hilarious. So after Scorpion collected his third body in this episode, Zero is walking Hannah away from Shusen. I guess she's gonna venture out on her own, not wanting to stay anymore. Zero offers her to stay, which is wild, because you're offering the woman who cheated on you with your brother to stay at the trip. Anyways, she refuses and decides that she just wants to venture out on her own like a nomad for whatever reason. And that's the episode. Not gonna lie, this is not the greatest episode of Mortal Kombat Conquest in the world, though it is interesting to see early Eva Mendes acting roles. But that being said, I love this episode so much just because it's probably the most killing that Scorpion does in a single episode in this entire series. Especially in a show where the bad guys get nothing accomplished, really, Scorpion was not messing around.